distilling what you said before, Grasso, you're choosing IBM over Google. You're choosing IBM over Nvidia.
Well, I think Nvidia, right? So Nvidia's top clients are its top competitors. So that the writing on the wall is there. Not that I don't think it can go higher, but I think that it's probably run its course right now and needs to pull back.
Thank you. I'll ask you this question then on the back of that. Who should be worried about this? I saw in your notes, probably not Nvidia, not AMD yet, but somebody has to be.
Yeah, I think, there's some of the other quantum companies, there's private companies on that side, but I think on the public side, the worries are probably, because this is so far away. I think the piece that the rest of the Mag 7 needs to be contemplating here, and NVIDIA needs to be thinking about, is just what are they doing to have some sort of position within quantum computing. It's theory right now, but I think you have to pursue that theory, similar to when aviation was theory before we got flight. I mean, all of these things go from projects from the lab. And so I would say the potential losers are the companies that aren't doing that. And I think Google is standing alone right now within the Mag 7 in terms of their investments in quantum.
So you said 10 years away from commercialization, and what do you think commercialization could be? What is the field that could benefit the most from quantum computing?
I think it's as simple as AI. I mean, just the pure, you went through the numbers, basically going from an eternity to 5 minutes. I mean, it's hard. This is the kind of stuff, it's called superposition. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around the improvements in compute speed. And so I think probably the biggest beneficiary is just everything that's AI. I mean, ultimately, you have a company like Nvidia. If quantum moves from theory to actually a production product, they need to have an answer down the road. And so the question, who's going to be impacted? What's the use cases on these? I think AI is probably front and center, and within AI, probably healthcare is one of the biggest initial areas.
Gene, great to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gene Munster, Deepwater Asset Manager. We were just showing the chart of Nvidia, and remember, Nvidia fell yesterday on the back of the news of the China investigation. So it's interesting that it doesn't, it can't catch a bid today. And then we have this interesting supercomputing news.
Well, it certainly, this is a trade today about tomorrow. Nvidia arguably could be, yesterday's trade today. I don't know, but I would look at the semiconductor space. You cannot single out Nvidia. I would look at semis, which today hit another important relative value underperformance to the S&P, which takes you almost all the way back to February of this year, which was when they were going to the moon. So it's again, a relative value chart looks a little bit like a reverse head and shoulders on the way down.
In the electrifying world of stock markets, every move by the giants is watched with keen interest. But when Nvidia catches the headlines, everyone truly perks up. Why, you ask? Because Nvidia isn't just leading the race in the AI chip market, it's redefining it. The core of this buzz surrounds a recent statement by Nvidia's chief, Jensen Huang. This revelation is reportedly poised to shake the very foundations of their rivals' strategies, with ripples anticipated to influence data centers worldwide. In an industry teeming with big names like Advanced Micro Devices, Intel, and even its own ambitious customers such as Amazon and Meta platforms developing in-house AI chips, Nvidia's unique edge in power efficiency might just be the game changer. Dive in as we unpack why this news has everyone talking and what it means for Nvidia's standing in the competitive AI landscape. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
Right now, we know that the world of artificial intelligence includes generative AI, accelerated computing, and now, agentics. When people start investing billions of dollars in something called agentics, I might have to just throw the red flag. Simply because you won't find that word in the Oxford English Dictionary, even though I use it a lot. Now, it doesn't get any better if you use ChatGPT to get a definition. The genius that is ChatGPT tells us, and here I'm going to quote, the term agentics is not widely recognized or formally defined in mainstream English dictionaries or academic fields, but it appears to be a neologism that combines the elements of the words agent and dynamics, or potentially other suffixes like genetics or analytics, depending on the context. Whew. Now I understand. Now, if an agentic force like ChatGPT doesn't know what agentics is, how the heck are we supposed to figure it out? We do know this, though. It's NVIDIA that's been talking about agentics, as well as Salesforce.com. And NVIDIA stock is truly under attack from the sellers. It's been besieged for days now, down over $10 after a 4-day losing streak, with the damage getting worse when the People's Republic of China announced it's investigating NVIDIA for monopolistic behavior. I thought that might come to an end last night when Taiwan Semi, the manufacturer of NVIDIA chips, reported November revenue up an astounding 34%. And by the way, it looked for a moment like it would. But then the king of semiconductor engineering started a hideous rollover, one that spared no prisoners for anything related to the semis. Taiwan Semi closed down $7.23 or 3.6%. Brutal. NVIDIA fell $3.74, down 2.69%. What crushed the group, really? All right, there's a lot of shadow boxing here, but the proximate cause was the plummet in Oracle, which wants to be the biggest builder of data centers worldwide. Frankly, I thought the numbers were good, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. CEO Safra Catz stunned us right from the front, right from the get-go, saying that she expected cloud revenue, a spec not that long ago, should reach $25 billion this fiscal year. That's staggering, people. The rest of the call was all about the insatiable demand for more data centers and how Oracle can't build them fast enough. Larry Ellison, the revered chairman of the board and chief technical officer, told a story about how Oracle can build data centers faster and cheaper than anyone else on the planet, and they don't burn as hot. I was blown away when Ellison said, I quote, "We just extended our AI performance advantage by delivering the largest and fastest AI supercomputer in the world, scaling up to 65,000 NVIDIA H200 GPUs," end quote. Think of it. We've got NVIDIA, we have supercomputers, we have demand, and then demand, and we have an amazing company, Oracle, that simply can't meet the demand. There's a reason 4 out of 6 analysts on the conference call offered effusive congratulations. That's the greatest endorsement they can give. But it was all for naught. Oracle stock got clocked from the moment the numbers printed, and it kept going lower and lower and lower because not every line was a blowout. More on that later, but most were, some not. And given that the stock was up 80% for the year before last night's report, we needed to see absolute perfection, and we didn't get it. Oracle's swan dive splashed red ink all over the fellow travelers. That's Dell, that's HP Enterprise, that's Supermicro. Ugly.
The narrative of NVIDIA's meteoric rise in the stock market reads like a thrilling novel, with Jensen Huang as the mastermind strategizing every twist and turn. Imagine walking into a crowded party and owning the room simply because you have the best dance moves. This is NVIDIA in the AI chip market. From what began as catering to the gaming enthusiast with GPUs, NVIDIA has now pivoted to a broader stage where artificial intelligence sits at the pedestal. NVIDIA's latest chip, the H200, has delivered twice the inference performance compared to its predecessor, resulting in a jaw-dropping surge in revenues, crossing into the double-digit billions with unprecedented speed. As if that wasn't enough, NVIDIA has upped the ante with the upcoming Blackwell architecture chip, touted to be the most powerful yet. But here's the kicker. It isn't just about power. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with NVIDIA's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to the video.
Now it's NVIDIA, it seems like, and that's one of America's biggest chip companies, one of the world's, if not the world's biggest chip company. What exactly can we expect out of China, and how could it affect the global semiconductor chain?
I mean, NVIDIA is a very widely held company, obviously here in the United States as well as globally. So one, I think it's the first time that you've seen a U.S. stock react to some of the political tension, some of the geopolitical tension between the United States and China. Certainly Chinese equities investors have gone very underweight because of those same concerns. And it just shows how interconnected the U.S. and Chinese economies are, why diplomats from those two countries should take a page from the business world, where obviously companies are getting well with one another just fine. I mean, actually, the China export-import data overnight shows that actually China's exports to the United States were very, very strong, showing that China needs the United States as well. It does look like, Dom, I did some looking at this situation, and it looks like the regulation, what this, the State Administration of Market Regulation, what they're looking at is specific to the Mellanox acquisition back in mid-April of 2020, that when NVIDIA bought Mellanox, they said that the company had to kind of unbundle some of its sales in China. So this investigation is about whether or not Nvidia did fulfill that promise that it made to the Chinese regulators at the time. This says that if there is a violation, according to Article 58 of the anti-monopoly law in China, that they could be fined upwards of 10% of the previous year's sales. I don't know if that's the China sales, which, to your point, it's about low mid-teens to China. So it looks like it's a very specific issue about this one acquisition.
At its recent earnings call, Huang emphasized the critical role of performance per watt, a data center's ultimate benchmark. In simpler terms, NVIDIA offers tremendous output for less energy, equating to greatest possible revenues for its customers. While most customers would find the prospect of higher initial costs daunting, NVIDIA assures that the long-term benefits outweigh the initial investment, making it a superior choice. And although the specter of competitors like Amazon's Trainium, which aims to be budget-friendly, looms over the market, NVIDIA counts on its proven performance as a compelling argument for customers. True, the marketplace is large enough for more than one successful player as the demand for AI accelerators surges towards a $1 trillion market by the decade's end. Still, NVIDIA's steadfast position paints a picture of a company not only holding its ground but expanding its kingdom. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
One employee told me that she woke up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and said, "Oh, I just worked at midnight. I really want to go back to sleep, but no, I have to wake up. We must kill Intel, kill Intel." So she's just like muttering in her head. She was inspired to work harder to fight.
Tay, if Intel's, let's call it a handful of decisions by former CEOs doomed the company to some extent, what are the decisions that, on the other side, that Jensen made that obviously brought such great success? Are there a couple that you could cite?
I think one key thing is they talk about speed of light, working with extreme speed and velocity. And if you look back at their video game history in the 1990s, they accelerated the product cycle from 18 months to 6 months. I mean, that sounds incredible, right? Typically, a chip took 18 months to design and ship, and they said, no, we're going to do that every 6 months. And that drove all their competitors out of business. And they're doing the same exact playbook with AI. It used to take 2 years to make an AI GPU, and then October last year, they're like, no, we're going to do that every single year. And that kind of relentless execution, improvement has shown why they've been successful for the last 30 years.
What I like is that you trace it all the way back to when they were a startup. Often, though, this is a very different company than it was back then. When the company gets very big, it changes,
yes.
Right? Structure, culture, innovation, that sort of desire to go out and kill and compete. What's your sense of what's happening now that it's become a multi-trillion-dollar company leading AI?
So that's exactly the main point. The key thing that happens, I think, for most corporations in the U.S. is as they get larger, this dysfunction just breeds inside the company. You get endless meetings, indecisive paralysis. Some of the sources told me it's like swimming in quicksand trying to get decisions done. And at Google, Microsoft, Apple, just the bureaucracy goes insane. NVIDIA, Jensen's culture has been able to tamper that down. I mean, if you do anything where you're trying to make your boss's boss better, which I think is a big portion of all the internal politics and bureaucracy, he'll dress you down right in public. And he told me, if someone is ever doing that, like, I'll embarrass them in front of everyone. And if I do that once or twice, no one's ever going to do that again.
For those contemplating their next bold move in stock investments, NVIDIA stands as a compelling beacon of innovation and leadership. The company's trajectory over the past 5 years, a staggering 2,600% climb, is not merely a phase but a testament to its enduring potential. Judging by current trends and Jensen Huang's statement highlighting NVIDIA's unrivaled efficiency, it's clear that NVIDIA remains a frontrunner in the AI chip sphere. Analysts are already forecasting even brighter days ahead as NVIDIA prepares for more groundbreaking launches. Understandably, every investment carries its share of unpredictability, but NVIDIA's rock-solid foundation and strategic foresight in power-efficient AI chips are hard to overlook. So, as you stand at the crossroads of deciding your investment strategy, what are your thoughts on NVIDIA's approach? Is it the dynamo you want to back in the ever-evolving stock market saga? Join the conversation and share your perspectives on NVIDIA's enduring journey and its impact on the future of AI technology. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like NVIDIA have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.